Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Charles Martin has resurfaced and calling out Itauma. Now, for those of you who don't know who Charles Martin is, well, Charles Martin was making some noise in the heavyweight division. Ran into AJ, lost that fight, seemed to be back and trying to get back into the mix. Had a really good fight with Luis Ortiz. Stepped up to face Jared Anderson. Almost had him out of there. But since that has really kind of, not done much. But the bottom line is 90% KO ratio. He's 6'5", 80% inch reach. And he presents a problem for anybody. And I think that's a really good fight for Moses Itauma, especially with Moses Itauma looking to go on. And the fact that his name is being mentioned to face Usyk, which I think, it makes sense. Because Itauma is like 6'6", long arms, super fast, powerful, young. It only makes sense that you start talking about him facing the greats. I don't know about next, but it makes sense. But bottom line is for Itauma to really continue moving up the ladder. Fighting a guy like Charles Martin is great, especially if they can make that fight in the States or if it's in Saudi or wherever it is. That's just another feather in the cap for him. And I think that would be a great fight. Now, when you take a look at Charles Martin, let's see, what's the last time? The last time he fought was, surprisingly enough, he fought, November 2024 against an individual who came in weighing 296 pounds, who had 17 wins, 8 losses, and three draws. And he was able to get the guy out of there by KO in the first round. Now, before that, he fought Jared Anderson, where he lost by decision. And that fight again, where he fought Jared Anderson, he had Jared Anderson looking crazy. If Martin could have just pushed a little bit more, he would have won and would have knocked him out. He would have been the first one to knock out Anderson, not Bacoli. But he took the fight on short notice. He was just grateful for the opportunity because Charles Martin, I believe he has I just say he has a child that has a special condition. I don't know, I can't remember what it was. But I know for a fact Charles Martin is a good dude, man. He's one of the few. Very respectful, very appreciative, and he's a good guy. And if he has enough time for a proper training camp, he is a live dog, especially with a guy like Itauma, who's, one of these young pups who's making noise and, fastly rising through the ranks in the heavyweight division. But I don't know who's training Charles Martin. I don't know what's going on with Charles Martin. But the fact that he's out here saying, it's time to get after you again, it's 2025, you got to respect that. That's what you got to do because no one's going to love you like you love yourself. Now, for Itauma, let me just tell y'all right now, man. Itauma is a handful for any fighter. I don't care if you're a fighter with one fight or a guy like Usyk, who's a two-time undisputed champion. The best fighter doesn't always win. It's the boxer who fights the best. And Itauma has shown that he is a special fighter. Yeah, he still needs to face some more guys, great fighters, elite fighters, and then we can really give him the stamp of approval. But he passes the eye test. And he's not he's not passing the eye test like Berlanga passed the eye test. He's passing the eye test like where I feel we have more confidence as far as him going into fights and being victorious. It's like Boots Ennis. So let's rack and stack this, right? Out of Boots, out of Berlanga, out of Itauma, when they were all undefeated, right? Well, two are undefeated, Berlanga's lost. But let's just scale it back to Berlanga before his first loss against Canelo. All undefeated. They all passed the eye test. Now, if I had to rack and stack them, which one would continue winning and who would lose first, I would say Berlanga would lose first, Boots would lose second, and Itauma would be the guy who probably is going to be a while before he loses because he seems to be that special, that technical of a fighter. Some would probably disagree with the Boots, but I don't care because Boots hasn't really fought anybody, all right? So, and that's a fact. So take the emotion out of it. Doesn't mean that Boots hasn't shown us that he can do some exceptional shit, but he's got to show me when he faces a match with Stanley Eunice. He clips Stanley Eunice, then, Boots has a nice little nugget that he can throw away in his little treasure chest. You know what I'm saying? Because the match with Stanley Eunice is no slouch. But after Stan Eunice, we got to see what Boots is doing. Now, I tell you right now, Ryan Garcia and Rolly fight, and Ryan clips Rolly, which I think he will, and becomes a WBA champ. Now you got Boots against Ryan Garcia for the unification. You see how that works? So it's pretty interesting. But that being said, Itauma, Martin make the fight. Give Charles Martin another good payday, man. You know what I'm saying? He deserves it. I don't care what anyone says. That guy deserves it, man. He's one of the good dudes out there. And when he gets in the ring, you know, he really tries his best. He was giving Luis Ortiz hell, too. Now, see, some people forgot when he went and fought Luis Ortiz. He was giving Luis Ortiz hell. But Luis Ortiz hit him and caught him with that left hand. And he had what's his name? Charles Martin. He had Charles Martin as stiff as a mannequin and staring out into and gazing into the crowd and looking crazy, and had his ass tied up into the ropes. Then he went on and fought Devin Vargas, got the KO in 4, Anderson decision over 10, and then recently came back again, like I said, in November and beat Matthew McKinney. But that being said, the managers and the matchmakers involved with Itauma, if they're smart, they won't try to fast track him and do him like Francisco Bajado and do him like David Reed and do him like Fernando Vargas. No, we know he's passes the eye test. He's got the goods. Give him up 2 or 3 more fights against a Charles Martin, maybe an Andrew Ruiz. You know, do him like that, and then bubble him up. But if he gets a big opportunity for huge money, you know, that shit doesn't come around often. So if it comes his way, take it. You know, I'm just gonna say take it. But at the end of the day, man, you know, you got to crawl before you walk. And sometimes you see some fighters who, like Edgar Berlanga, he didn't necessarily crawl, then walk, then sprint. He crawled and then took off in an all-out sprint. So he ain't had no goddamn balance. That's why he went there with Canelo, was all over the damn place. And scared to let his hands go. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Itauma Martin, absolutely the perfect matchup for Itauma, in my opinion. And if Martin has enough time to train, I am telling y'all, he's going to make it interesting. Do I think he beats Itauma? Look, all the momentum is with Itauma right now. I'm just saying, he can make it interesting. And it'll be Southpaw versus Southpaw, and Southpaws aren't used to fighting other Southpaws. There's a whole lot of little interesting, you know, things there. And we just got to wait and see. That being said, keep cool. I may do another 2 videos. I'm about to go in here and get ready to go to my son's high school basketball game. But I may go live later. I got a lot to talk about too, so maybe I'll go live later. You guys keep cool, keep safe. I'm in the breeze.